Today, I'm going to be letting you guys get inside my mind on how I made earnings in the solo cup. People are always asking me for uncut videos of my tourneys. That way you can see how I handle the early and mid game. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through exactly how I handled that and the end game here. Hopefully this will help you out in solos. Let's hop into it. To start the game, I was landing near the Rave Cave head. Somebody else was going to the Rave head as well, and it looked like he had a better drop than me, so I curved over to this Oathbound chest. I didn't get a hammer out of it, which is a big L, but I got enough shield, so I got my shield popped all the way to max. That way, if the enemy pushes, I'm chilling. Usually they will because they want to get that hammer. What I tried to do this game to get him to not push me was show him that I got a shield instead of a hammer. I started using the shield as I backed up towards this zip line that brings me to more loot. I didn't trust that it was going to work, so I built over my head while farming here. Eventually, the guy does come over and shoot me in the head. When that happens, I just keep building over my head, making sure I'm blocking my angles from that side, and then before I rotate, I make sure that it's safe. The dude just wanted some storm surge, it looked like. So I was able to rotate around the corner here, get more loot, and just continue my loot route. I did take some shots myself because you want to get as much storm surge as you can in the early game. As I'm rotating down here to see if this was looted, I actually see somebody who seems like he just got fried, so I try to go for a sneak play. I went for his wall probably like 5 times. I was actually in a really bad spot. He could have killed me so easily because I got stuck under my ramp. But you can see I tried to get this wall 4 times. I didn't get it a single time, and he got the whole shield keg off, so I just disengaged. My plan is because the storm rotates to the east side of the map, I'm just gonna hug this far east side. So I just kept swimming along this side. There were so many people on this side of the map that I just wanted to get by it. I stay far enough away from the players that I can get by without actually being heard or seen, until I finally got to this spot, which was unlooted. I farm mats, get heals, get ammo, and then I keep on moving. I pretty much have everything I need now other than movement. Me personally, I'm not the best at mid-game fights, so that's usually my strategy. Try to get at least impulses and then take it to endgame. And that's when, lucky me, the last building I looted, the last chest I looked at, had a hammer. Once I get that, when I'm going outside, I know someone's on top of my building, so I'm just watching him as I'm rotating out. As soon as he edits, that's when I build a base. I'm just chilling here waiting to see where zone goes, and I pull the next zone. The only problem is I have no storm surge tags really. And on top of that, I have a pistol with not that much ammo. But I know I'm pretty good at getting surge, so I just stay calm and try to hit some shots. Anytime I hear somebody hammering or somebody spraying at another box, I always look at that stuff. I get a few tags, but later on, I pull the next zone, and I notice that the building behind me is in, and there's an AR on top. So I rotate up there because you get better elevation, you get an AR. This is really good for the storm surge. I know that I'm gonna pick the pistol back up, so I just start spraying this AR at anything I can. This isn't that good of a spot, but it's good enough. You can see here I'm only 7 above and 3 more people need to die. Storm surge ends in this zone at 44 players. I just stay calm. I know people are gonna start rotating soon because the zone pulls far, so I just wait for them to rotate and then get my tags. What I do here is I even wait until I'm basically in the zone, and I just keep looking tags until then. That way I can get as much as possible before the moving zone. When I'm rotating in here, I cut to the left because if I kept going straight, I probably would have gotten lobby focused right there, because I would have been landing in the middle of all the players. But by going left, there's a lot less players over here, and I really just have to watch one side of me. Everyone in these wood and brick builds here is already rotated, so I don't have to watch my back, only what's in front. That's why I chose to go here. And now it's time for the moving zone. My first mission is to try to get a little bit more storm surge tags by looking back. Looking to the back edge of zone at people that are rotating first. My spot really didn't have any good angles, so I just get up in a cone and start scouting my own rotate. I only use one hammer because I wanted to start looking for more storm surge immediately. At first I'm looking behind me, but then I decide to look in front of me and try to shoot some people hammering. The only problem is I was missing every shot, bro. I was pretty nervous in this endgame. It was the first game of the day. I land kinda near low ground here and immediately start looking back for surge. Once again, I was not hitting anything. Spoiler alert, I didn't get a single storm surge tag. Luckily, it went away, so I was chilling. This hammer right here was a bit of a panic. I was only 1 box away from the zone. I should have just waited to see where next zone goes. Instead, I hammered and it ended up pulling back to exactly where I was. Not too big of a deal though, it's all good. On this hammer rotate, notice how I land high, I land upper layers. I have really good mats at this point, so I'm pretty much just focusing on not getting dropped out. You can see I'm just standing here holding my builds out, making sure nobody beneath me drops me out, until I rotate again with the hammer. Height was standing in the open on this hammer, so I just shot him, like why not? And then I land on upper layers again. I was pretty high up at this point and it didn't sound like anybody was below me, so I start looking for a shot on someone. I'm looking ahead for something I can push. I get a big shot on this guy and then I hammer straight into his box. This was just lucky. I'm pretty sure he was holding his cone at the second I hammered, which is why I didn't go through. But hammering diagonal like this a lot of times gets you stuck in their builds. It was a total accident though, but I recognized it was the weak player and got the kill. I don't get greedy for loot. Once I get the mats, I get out of there. I get all the way to front and I'm pretty much in the zone at this point. And now I have so many mats that every single rotate I make, I'm just gonna be holding my builds. This amount of mats with the hammer at this point in the game can get you all the way to the end of the game with mat superiority. Meaning I'd be in the best position if I just don't take another fight. So you can see I'm just hammering forward, holding my builds out, making sure I don't get dropped to low ground and get scuffed. I do see somebody directly next to me though, literally standing on my wall, so I go for some shots on that, but I'm playing very safe. This hammer rotate got scuffed though. I wanted to land on a high layer, but I bumped off something and fell to low. When I try to go back up, I run into Nexi, a pro player. I get that kill, but I don't even worry about the loot because there's other players around and I still have all the mats I need. So I just instantly drop to low ground where I knew nobody was at and start tarping there, make room for myself and get ready to heal. I don't even worry about that loot because I really don't need anything. Going for that loot would be a risk I don't need to take. At this point, I'm trying to get a big pot off. I flipped my cone up, but I didn't block the angle I needed to. I didn't panic though, all good. I just went for the big pot again. When I'm all the way on low ground like this, I don't know what's above me. If I hammer diagonally, I might get stuck on builds. So I hammer straight up instead because that breaks everything above you. And then I just strafe forward. This gets me to a really good spot here. I do it again here. I probably should have gone diagonal this time so I'm harder to hit by high ground, but I get shot and I have to use big pots and splash once again. After getting shot by high ground on that last hammer, I decided to build this because I have so many mats. I wasn't sure exactly what was going on around me because I had just spent all that time popping heals. But after I make room here, I start to scout around and I decide to hammer this one because I saw Height was fighting. I wanted to see how high up they actually were, and when I saw they were on the moon, I decided to play for low ground here. Right here, I land on my own block. You can see all the floors underneath were built except for this corner, so that's why I landed there. At this point, people are going to be making the final moves to win the game, so I still have a good amount of mats, so I'm just holding my bottoms. I want to keep my health and keep my mats all the way to this final moment here. I peek at high ground again to see what's happening. They finish fighting and I start getting sprayed at. I get sprayed to the lower layer. At this point, I try to get to the front end of this low ground layer. That way I'm not cut off. And at this point, it's pretty much me versus the low ground player. Whoever wins the fight on low ground has a chance to win the game. But this guy goes up, which was kind of a mistake because now he's pinched between high ground and low ground. I could have low-key just let high ground spray him, but I wanted his mats because it was about to go up a mountain. He was directly above me, which is why I hammer up, which pushes him down. I'm able to get that kill, and honestly, the end of this game was kind of lucky. I didn't get the mats off the body, which was the choke. I managed to get up the hill, but I'm 1 HP, and then it just came down to these final moments. Let's go, baby! Yes, sir! I hope you guys enjoyed this video, maybe learned something new. More content coming soon. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.